You are listening to the Big Blue podcast from the Center for Creativity at Tulsa Community College. I'm Greg Stone, Metro Campus Provost. And with me, as always, is the president of Tulsa Community College, Dr. Lee Goodson. Hello, Lee.
Hello, good afternoon. How are you, Greg?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
So let's talk about format change, because there is no camera.
No camera.
You and I are both thrilled.
We're so excited about that. We always tape these on Friday afternoons, and by the time we get through a full week and another half day, we're like, I'm not sure how we look.
Well, I always look great. So I'm just kidding.
Well,
for me, it's pretty good. it's the best I'm going to get. I'm just kidding. But let's talk about, we have been for a year and a half now.
Yep.
Doing this show, first on the Grid and on Channel 21.
Yep.
But with the closure of Channel 21, we started showing episodes on the Creativity Channel, which is still there. But we're just making a bit of a shift to going strictly to a podcast.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good time to, there are some folks who work at the C4C who people are very familiar with their work, but they don't know them.
Right.
And it's because it's the guys here in video services and technical services
always
who are
behind the camera.
Behind the camera.
Yeah.
Or
behind the equipment.
John Niemeyer, who's here with us, who's behind the microphone. And so I thought it'd be nice if we could just say how great Ethan Rowland and John Niemeyer and Jared Schweihart and Patrick Kelly are here in the C4C.
They do a great job.
Not just with this now podcast, but with the original shows that we produce, with so many videos and events that go on with the C4C and videos they produce for the community through campus programs. I mean, so thanks to you all for that great work, because people see the work, but they don't always know that you're the ones doing it. So you all are awesome.
Way to go,
thanks
guys.
to all of you.
Yeah.
And also, I guess we could say, because for the first year or so, Justin Edlick, who now works in online learning, was here at the C4C and did a lot of work on the earlier show. So thanks to Justin as well. He's doing great work now in online learning. So,
and we met so many people. We've already met so many people in the first year and a half.
It's been great. Absolutely.
It has.
So we're going to have this podcast available every week with The Week at TCC. And we'll continue to talk with employees who have really interesting stories to share or important and exciting things going on, like
Eileen Kenney, who is the Assistant Vice President of Enrollment Management. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I am thrilled to be on this inaugural voyage with you all, with the first podcast. This is fabulous.
Yeah, we're excited too. So, okay, you're in this role of Assistant Vice President, which is a lot of responsibility of enrollment management. And so, I have a little bit of enrollment management background and student affairs background, and there's always this deal, are you student affairs, are you enrollment management? So maybe we'll get into that a little bit. But
philosophical discussion.
Yeah, that's a philosophical discussion a little bit. But you used to be the Director of Development here at TCC.
I did.
And you were in that role for a period of time, and I know it was sad for the for the foundation to lose you. And I got calls from several of our, some people call them donors. I like to call them investors because they're investing in the future of our students. But saying, how could you possibly let her get away from the foundation? And I said, well, because
we're keeping her in just a different role.
In a different role, so it's really exciting. So why did you decide to make the change?
Sure. Let me just start by saying I really did love my time at the foundation for that very reason that you touched on. Being able to visit with people and promote the college and help them invest in the college and understand the importance of TCC was terrific, and I loved every minute of it. And I loved the people I worked with, and I miss the people, and I see them out and about in the community, and I tell them how much I miss them. But when this position was created, and I better understood that there was going to be a wonderful emphasis on enrollment management with your leadership, I jumped at the chance. Because enrollment management is what I would call my true north. It is. I am one of the nerds that gets up in the morning and is excited by data. And I used to work for a number of years in enrollment management. So I had worked at a community college in Kansas. And in enrollment management, I was director of enrollment management there. And I had worked at OSU for a number of years in the area under enrollment management. And so, and when I started at TCC, these many years ago, I was director of enrollment services. So I was able to see firsthand some of the things that TCC was doing from our frontline service and work with all the different areas and see how things worked together. And then when this position was created, it was a little bit of a higher level. And so to me, it was the perfect opportunity to take everything that I had learned at a community college in Kansas, everything I had learned, with OSU, and then and work to lay out a plan to help achieve our goals, and create this great unit called enrollment management at TCC. So I mean, it's been sort of a homecoming for me. It's like putting on comfy, fabulous clothes and being able to do some very important work for the college.
Eileen, for people who may not know what areas report up to you in the institution, because it is a fairly new...
nebulous term there.
Yeah. Tell us about the offices and the staff who report to you, and sort of give us sort of like an overview of what your day-to-day work is like.
Absolutely.
You're not in your office a lot.
I am
You're out and about.
I am mostly out and about on the various campuses. So think about it from a student's experience, from the first point of contact, pretty much through new student orientation. And those are the areas that encompass pretty much enrollment management. So I have 6 areas that directly report to me. I have admission and prospective student services. And so think of recruitment, we're outreach, going out into the community, talking to different groups about Tulsa Community College. And then the other part of that is the admission side. So we process the admission applications. So recruitment and admission, otherwise known as admission and prospective student services. And then we have the Tulsa Achieves office. And they too have both an outreach component, but they also have internal processes where they are communicating with Tulsa Achieves students, working on retention efforts for Tulsa Achieves students. Financial aid reports up through me, and it's probably the largest area within enrollment management. So everything from filing the FAFSA, they also do outreach because we've incorporated FAFSA Thursdays into our plan for this year, and then they also FAFSA Thursdays. Exactly.
Okay.
So they've been going on the campuses where community members and students can come and get help filing the FAFSA. So it's been a great success. So I think that's something that will continue. But then think of, filing the FAFSA, outreach both into the community. We partner a lot with Impact Tulsa, doing programs with Impact Tulsa, with different community groups that want to do FAFSA workshops. We have them on campus. But then also disbursement of financial aid and loan counseling. I mean, it runs the whole gamut. Enrollment services reports up through me. So those are the enrollment services offices that you see on each campus, and they're there to provide what we call exemplary student service at the front line. And then the college registrar reports through me, and our college registrar is Tracy Heck, and Tracy is a wonderful expert in Regents policy, so she helps ensure that TCC remains compliant in some of our areas within Regents policy. And then the last area is new to the college, and we created something called the Completion Center. So it's housed here at the Metro campus, and that's everything. So think of all the credentials and transcripts into the college and all the transcripts out of the college. And they are processed sort of back office where they're in their processing. It's not a student-facing area. But with that, we've been able to really make some great improvement in terms of efficiency and consistency. So those are the 6 primary areas that I supervise.
That's a lot of responsibility.
It is, but I love every minute of it. And this team has really gelled together beautifully, and they understand that we are working towards this common goal of student success and seeing how we can just continuously improve. And they are so enthusiastic and up for the challenge. They're phenomenal.
Wonderful. So, you've been in this role for over a year now.
Slightly over a year. I started
Slightly
November
over a year.
of last year.
And I'm sure when you applied for the position that you had an idea of what you wanted to do. You probably, being in the foundation, saw some things that you thought
Sure.
could be improved. So tell us, what are the big accomplishments you are most proud of this first year?
Okay, sure. So I referenced this just a little bit ago. The thing I'm probably most proud of is bringing these 6 areas together to form a team. And there's a strategic enrollment management plan for the college, and we are tasked with ensuring that the strategies on that plan are being met. Mm-hmm. And so we monitor that and ensure that we are making strides for that. Another thing that I am really proud of, again, I'm a little bit of a nerd with this, but being able to use data to inform our decisions is so important for us as a team and for the college. And so I think we've been able to implement some great use of data to guide us and better inform our goals and what we need to be doing to achieve those goals. And then I will say, I think forming the completion center, it's something we had talked about for quite some time.
And we did it.
And we did it.
Yes.
So Lindsay Fields is the director there, and she has, we brought people from other campuses and other areas to the completion center, and again, there's a great cohesive atmosphere there. They're enthusiastic, but more importantly, there is centralized processing going on, so students are being served more quickly, more accurately. And that's where we need to go. So those are some things that I feel very proud of that we've been able to accomplish.
And so for some of our listeners out there who may not have been close to this experience, which would be most, because you know, but I think about when you were sending out memos. Here's how many more students for the fall enrollment. Here's how many more students we think will be coming through new student orientation.
Right.
Here's how many more seats we have in our various first year, first time incoming college student.
Exactly.
Right. And
exactly.
so that kind of projection is really valuable in the operation.
So we'd run these reports and look to see how many seats do we have available in some of the primary sections that new first-time entering students would be enrolling in. And if we notice that, oh my gosh, we only have 2 seats left available in all of strategies, we would quickly see how we could add sections in strategies or in college algebra or whatever it might be. And so that was exciting. I mean, again, it's fun to look at data and project and then see those classes fill and students be able to get a full schedule where they want, when they want.
And
it was really nice.
And to do that at a college-wide level rather than just campus by campus, department by department.
Right.
Exactly.
Makes a big difference.
So again, centralizing this for greater efficiency is perfect for the college, but the real beneficiary are the students.
Yeah.
I mean, they are able to progress through and get the classes that they need.
Let's remind our listeners that they're listening to the Big Blue Podcast. I'm Greg Stone with Lee Goodson, and our guest is Eileen Kenney, Assistant Vice President of Enrollment Management. What are the big rocks left to move? What are 2 or 3 things that are on your list of what's big coming next from enrollment management?
For enrollment management, we still need to, we've made great strides utilizing technology, but there's still we still have quite a ways to go with that. We're looking at things such as intelligent character recognition for looking at transcripts and evaluating transcripts. That could be a game changer in how we evaluate college transfer work.
Like how fast we can turn it around.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, think about
So
that. A student could submit a transcript from OU, OSU, NSU, KU, and if everything's right, we could use intelligent character recognition to actually upload that information into Banner, and at the stroke of a key, their transfer work would be in the system.
And that's not taking someone's position.
Not at all.
We don't have enough people to do that.
Exactly.
Right.
We don't.
We
exactly.
don't. Right.
And so I think better use of technology, and that extends not even to that, but also better using our technology in terms of communicating with students, tracking our students. So again, we've made great strides, but we can still make improvements there. Another area where I think we can improve, it's not necessarily within my area, but it has a lot of effect on it, is when we have our maps ready to go, the students have their academic plans ready to go, and then if they can be tied into degree works, so we know how many students within certain majors we have, where they are in their progression for their degree, then that will inform what classes need to be scheduled and how many of those sections. And so it's our ultimate goal to not cancel a class, a section. And so, but we're going to need those pieces in place, I think, before we can get there.
Predictive analytics.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. So tell us about how does enrollment management fit into pathways?
Oh, I love this because I love pathways. So pathways is about keeping students on track and helping ensure that they know step by step where they are in a process to completion. And so part of that is creating a sense of place for them, a sense of purpose, and also a personal connection. And those are areas where I think enrollment management has a big part to play. Part of what we're doing is streamlining our communication to students and improving our communication both from first point of contact through their experience, so that they know step by step where they are and what their next step is. We don't assume that they know, and we track them to ensure they're not falling through. I equate this, and I know you've heard this before, Dr. Goodson. In the past, our progression through was like a bowl of spaghetti. Think of it winding through.
I have not heard about a bowl of spaghetti. So yes,
Think of this big bowl of spaghetti and all the noodles are tangled up. And that's a student's path. It goes up and down and everywhere. And so, but we've been able to look at our processes and the steps a student takes, and we've been able to reduce that down to maybe about 5 or 6 steps. And then clear, concise communication through those steps. And then ensuring that from the time they apply to TCC, we want them to apply to a school so that then they immediately have that sense of place. They know that where they're going to be. And through the communication, there's a personal connection. And so they know that there's someone there advocating for them. There's someone there watching out for them. So we want them from day one to know that somebody is there helping them through this process. And again, in my mind, that's where enrollment management can help with those steps. So some of the things that we've been evaluating, again, is reducing the number of steps it takes from admission to enrollment, making sure that we're communicating each of those steps, and making sure that that we are checking in with them and helping guide them through.
Nice. What a great experience for a student.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Now, again, we're not there yet. We hope to have this in place
Takes time.
starting for fall,
Right.
for the next academic year. But we will get there.
We just have a minute or so left, Eileen, but we always ask our guests what we call the big question, which is if you could go back in time and give your 18-year-old self, college-going self, some advice, what would that advice be?
I would tell my 18-year-old self to be bolder and to be less afraid.
That is good advice.
Yeah.
And I use that advice on my 50-year-old self as well, because
It's good advice
it
all
is.
along the way.
It is. I look at students and I just be bold, be fierce, and don't be afraid. We're all going to make mistakes,
Yep.
and we're not going to have it figured out. But just try new things. Don't be afraid to try something new. I think of that as, for students, I wanted to do study abroad, and I sort of looked into it, but then I got real scared and didn't do it.
Didn't do
Yep.
it. Didn't follow through.
Right, and I
Yeah.
think these can be life-changing experiences.
That's right.
And the younger you have them, the stronger you will be.
That's right. Well, Eileen Kenney, Assistant Vice President for Enrollment Management, thanks for being with us today.
Well, you guys, this was fun.
It was
It
good.
was fun, yes.
It was good.
It just went great. I was kind of nervous at first, but you made me just feel so
No.
comfortable.
It's very low-key.
That's a great promotional
go.
line there for our show.
You can use that.
Yeah, okay, we'll use it.
Well, this is Greg Stone here with Dr. Lee Goodson, and you've been listening to the Big Blue Podcast. Thanks for listening.